Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome to this week's episode of Tuesday Preppers, where we take a look at in-game news and what kinds of challenges are coming up this week that you might need to get ready for. In particular, thinking about killer weapons and armors and abilities that you might be able to get from trial rewards that are going to help you gear for those to do the most damage possible and survive and get all the rewards that you might be looking for this week. So we've got a couple pieces of content coming out this week that I'm really excited about, and we'll talk about those now, as well as a new unit coming out this week that I'm very, very excited about for a couple of reasons. But let's talk about the less exciting stuff first, and that is we are getting Item World. It is, in a lot of ways, a typical Item World event. And I'll go ahead and show you. We are getting a new item, the Encyclopedia of Herbs. It's this book right here. It's attack 50, magic 189, a two-handed rod that is also 30% insect and plant killer. Now, the special ability you can get for this weapon during the event is 50% magic and 50% true double hand magic. And we get Top Operative as a reward. And Top Operative is a materia that gives really high magic and magic true double hand when you're wearing a rod. So those two items combined, if you are a newer player and are lacking a lot of like good magic stuff, this is going to get you started out really, really nicely, basically for free. So definitely, if you're a new player, do not skip Item World, the Item Enhancement world. To just try and get this item, really nicely maxed out for yourself is going to help your mages out a lot. They're not too difficult, obviously, but definitely don't want to miss out on free stuff, including 110 Neovision summon tickets and Super TMR exchange tickets, and also the Chic Summer hat is a hat that I wear a lot when I'm gearing for fire resistance and stuff like that. So it's a pretty good Item World this month, and this is probably the last of the monthly events that we're going to get, because Item World, they announced, is going to become permanent, but I am hoping that they continue to do monthly bonus items and stuff that they give out like for completion. I'm really hoping that they do, because these are usually really good for new players. But that's Item World. That's only like part of what we're excited about. We're also excited about Clash of Wills. We've got the Kappa of unknown origin, and my understanding is that his name is pronounced Giorgione. Giorgione is something similar in there, and he's a Kappa. Looks pretty aggressive. He looks mean and nasty, and he's got a knife. He looks like he's gonna shank you. And we know that he's a demon fairy weak to earth, fire, and light. So we're gonna want to bring earth, fire, and light damage dealers. And the news bulletin for the month told us that we need to use that he uses wind and water attacks and non-elemental physical magic attacks that ignore cover and provoke. That's kind of scary if you really like to use Chow. Maybe it just means we need to kind of bulk up our resistances all around and be ready for an onslaught of attacks. He also counters if you do not deal him earth, fire, or light damage, so you're going to want to bring those units. And in particular, as usual, it's a Clash of Wills, so that means we're going to want to bring the new Clash of Wills unit. And that is, of course, Shrine Maiden Tsukiko. So I'm really excited about this unit, even just knowing that it is Shrine Maiden Tsukiko without even knowing anything about what she does. I was planning on pulling. So when they announced her on the live stream and they showed her sprite, I was sold already. I've been saving Lapis for the next Clash of Wills, which is this week, and here we are. So I'm super pumped to do it and go ahead and get Tsukiko. Now the good news is we've got a step up summon that also includes a really, really interesting vision card at the end, and I'll talk about that in just a moment. But the whole thing costs you 46k. So when we've had Clash of Wills banners that I knew I wanted to pull on and go all the way to pity, I've invited people in the past to be a part of special pull battles, and we have one such pull battle coming out this Thursday. So I'm going to go ahead and pop up some information here. A new challenger who's never been on any of our pull battles before, Hazino, has offered to take part in the challenge and go all the way to pity with me, hoping to get as many Tsukikos along the way as we can. That's going to happen on Thursday at 9 p.m. Central Time over on Twitch. So that's going to happen live on Twitch. You can see the address there. Hopefully you're following there already, but if not, take a look over there. and that way you are going to be able to cheer me on, or hopefully maybe even cheer on Hazino. I don't know who you want to win. But I have not yet won a pull battle. There was one that I won by default just because everyone felt like I got better units than they did. But in terms of points, I've not won one yet. So I'm very hopeful that this is the one. And I'm very thankful to Hazino for joining me, and looking forward to a lot of fun. So I hope you come out and play along with that as we pull for Tsukiko. But what's neat about her is that she also happens to be an evoker, and evokers are some of my favorite units in the game. They're my favorite types of characters when you've got the opportunity to like pick your class in Final Fantasy games as summoners and evokers. I really enjoy those. So to know that she's an evoker and has gear that helps with evocation and cards that helps with evocation really excites me. Yeah, I think she's going to be a lot of fun, and she's got imperil fields, which is really good for evokers because they can't use amplification fields, which is really cool. I'm looking forward to potentially even using her to beat up on Rafflesia on Thursday. So here we go. I'm pumped. We're going to do a pull battle. Come watch. It's going to be great. But back to the cards. Let's talk about the cards for just a moment. Her own vision card is 125 magic at level 10 with magic 50%, LB damage 50%, evocation damage 50%. I'm already sold. That's fantastic. And boost magic by 500 for FFBE units. So that's super, super good, but that's not even the card that's on her banner. The one that's on her banner is also 125 magic, but it gives you 200% TDH, 500 magic, evocation 50, L and Esper's evoked 50 for FFBE units. And also gives killers for units who are not doing evocation damage but still want to do damage to dragons, fairies, or have lightning and earth resistance. So I think this is a very interesting card. Maybe not the best for every unit out there, but I think it's probably going to be equipped on Tsukiko pretty much all the time until we get something better. So yeah, I think if you don't pull for Tsukiko now and you don't get this card, and then one day you get a Tsukiko and you don't have this card, I think you'll be sad about it. So that's why I'm pulling for the card personally. And I'm going all the way to pity because she's a Clash of Wills unit, and obviously for Clash of Wills you got to have as high EX levels as possible. But in particular for her, I'll go back to her for just 1 second and show you. This EX ability that they show, the Dutiful Priestess, boosts magic by 1000, LB damage by 150, and chain limit cap 100%. So it's super, super valuable for her, and it's probably her EX3, and if she doesn't have this, that's going to eat up a lot of her items and ability slots to get those bonuses. So you got to go as far as you can to get EX3 as quickly as possible. So definitely go into pity. And I'm hoping to get her at least EX2 along the way so I can bring her to Clash of Wills because I think it's going to be a lot of fun. But like I said, we've got a demon enemy and it's a demon fairy. So let's talk a little bit about some stuff you can get for demons and fairies. Added a few new things to the list this week. Spirit Eater Sense is the main one we're going to be talking about because that's the trial that we're going for using the new EX squad. You could also get Spirit Killer Plus from Scorn of the Genies, of course. And then the new items we added is Tidebringer Kaito's Shin Suiryuken, because it's a demon and fairy killer item. So it gives demon and fairy killer, and it's been useful for this Clash of Wills in particular. That's why it's on the list. And then some new ones added to the demon include the Demon Killer Plus from Belphegor. That's a recipe that you can get from there and an ability, so go kill Belphegor. As well as Demon Eater Sense from Gloomwing, which is really, really strong. So if you haven't beaten up Gloomwing and Belphegor, they're not particularly like entry-level beginner trials, but they're not too terrible. But definitely go do those so that you can get these demon killer items. That's going to really help you out for gearing for your units. But the one we're focusing on is Spirit Eater Sense. You get that from Gargantuan Grub in the Sand, and I'm going to show you the team that we're going to do it with tonight. It's in Chamber of the Fallen, Gargantuan Grub in the Sand, and difficulty 400. The challenges are just to beat it with a limit burst, no KOs, and no items. That's going to get you Spirit Eater Sense. The trick to that is they want you to use items because its powerful attacks can be prevented by using items. But we're not going to. We're going to find other ways to avoid his powerful attacks. So I'm going to show you, first of all, how you can do this without a strong unit. If you want to just take a unit team of 5 and not bring a friend unit and just slowly work your way through it, you definitely can. So I'm going to show you my team here. Here we go. So this team will eventually kill this boss. It just takes a long time. Like the best burst that I've done on turn 2 is about 8%, which is not very big, you know, obviously. So if you do this, you can get through it. But this team, the way I've got them set up, I actually need to make one little change. The way I've got them set up can technically, let's see where I want to put this. You can technically beat this boss. It'll just take you a long time to do it. So we're going to take Loyal General off, actually. And I'm going to switch it with 10,000 needles because I need it in both forms. If you've got this, you can technically do this in like I would say probably like 15-20 turns. If you have that kind of patience. It's on a 3-turn rotation, and you just kind of work your way through it and slowly and surely whittle him down. You got to use 10,000 needles every 3 turns, so that's why it's in both forms. But we're gonna take a friend. I'm gonna go back, and we're gonna pretend that we've got a friend Sky unit here who's gonna take care of us for us. I'm gonna bring my own Sky because while I requested some people to set up a Sky, they're not showing up on the friends list because, as I say every week, the friends list is the true final enemy of this game. So we're going to go ahead and do Sky here. And we're going to use mine. And we're going to put her in the shift form. Give her an Esper. And then we're going to be on our way. Oh, we're going to give him Odin and her Ashura. And then be on our way. Okay. Here's our team. Runda's here for tanking. Shadowlord is here for LB capping. Scott, they are chaining, she's chaining, and here we go. Sky's gonna be capping as a jumper. And there we go. So this fight, honestly, it starts you out with a earth resistance field. You can use any elements you want, but it's weak to earth. So if you have earth, you can do it. He also does earth attacks, so that makes you kind of particularly vulnerable. But it's really not that big a deal. A lot of his attacks are not that strong if you have like a strong tank or strong resistances. Runda's pretty strong. So we're going to start off with Sky using her Sharp Spear focus to reduce attack and defense for the enemy, as well as make it weak to spears. This is going to boost her her attack as well as do an added damage boost for her jump, which is important. And then Overcast Skies to make it weak to wind and boost her own wind stuff. She's doing a wind lock jump, so that's important. Shadowlord is going to use Kneel Before Me and then Lighting Blitz twice just to fill his own LB gauge. Lightning is going to use Energized to unlock her quad cast. Citra is going to guard. Ignis is going to double Tactics Enhancement and Reinforcement. Runda is just going to use Runda Scan to put up mitigations for the party. He's already auto-covering because of his like trust abilities and various things that he's got equipped. And then Ignis is actually single target provoking. So Ignis is going to take the single target hits, including the Dispel, which would normally dispel your tank, which you don't want. So there we go. Turn 2 here, Ignis is going to shift, and his shift form is also geared for passive provoke and evasion. And he's going to give a lightning imbue to everybody, including Sky, true overboost for himself, and then use spell daggers just to hit the boss once. Lightning is actually good to go. We're going to go ahead and guard here. Citra's going to guard. Shadowlord is going to also go ahead and guard because we're ready. Actually, yeah, he's ready to go. So we'll do that. And Runda is going to just cover and barrier and Protectka. Nice. And then after Ignis gives lightning element to Sky, Sky's going to jump out of the way. Okay, some AoE attacks are coming and some single target attacks are coming. It's not that bad. It says preparing to use Sand Trap. So if you were going to do the slow clear, here's where Shadow Lord would go ahead and use 10,000 needles, right, to evade Sand Trap. It's an AoE physical attack. It cannot be covered, but you can mirage it. So that helps you do that. But we're going to go ahead and kill this turn. So we're going to use True Doom Arc to kill with a Limit Burst. We're not using any items and we're not getting any deaths. So that's going to get us all of this. What's going to happen is Lightning is going to quad cast Buster Thunder. Citra is going to shift. Come on, game. Citra is going to shift and use quadruple Divine Decision. You could also use the other skill if you wanted to. It doesn't cost any MP, so it's an option. We're going to triple Spell Dagger's Lightning with you. We're going to triple Bolting Strike with you. And then what's going to happen is they're all going to go together, and then Sky is just going to land on the boss after the chain is built up and take it down in one hit. So here we go. And there we go. Sky totally carries it. So if you've got a strong friend Sky, or if you have your own Sky with her intrinsic ability, she can totally crush this boss. I guarantee you most of that damage was Sky. So it said 6.8 billion. Let's see what the damage breakdown was. Nobody did even close. So Sky did 6.6 billion, about 6.6 billion by herself, totally carrying this fight. Absolutely ridiculous. Okay, Sky is so good, and I'm thrilled to have her on my team. I'll go ahead and show you the rest of the gear that everyone's wearing, but as you can tell, it's really kind of like not important. But let's take a look anyway. Runda is just geared for HP and defense, using his Season 4 gear. He's also got a couple other TMRs and STMRs from 5-star units, but no Neo Visions units. There you go. He's wearing not even the best vision card. He's just wearing a free vision card that gives defense and HP. Not bad. Shadow Lord was honestly geared for LB and Insect Killer a little bit, and True Double Hand, but he's not doing much damage. You saw it. He's just not that strong. But he did have 10,000 needles, and that's because if you're going to be doing the slow clear method, you want to have 10,000 needles available to Mirage the turn 3. There you go. These units are kind of geared kind of gimpy. Radiant Lightning just geared for chaining. Reasonable magic, a little bit of Insect Killer, true dual wield, whatever. There we go. Free cards. She's not really doing much. Ignis is important because he's our passive provoke evader. So he's evading the dispel attacks and passive provoking. And he's got 100% evasion and provoke. There you go. He also imbues lightning to the party, and that helps Sky to get a little bit of damage boost, although her own Amp and Imperil do plenty for her. Citra is geared really badly in the base form, and then in the shift form, equally badly, but still wearing some gear. She's just not that great of a unit. That's just the way it is. And then Sky, I'll show you Sky as well. Let me go back a screen here and get Sky on the screen. So our Sky is geared like so. Nothing in the base form because she doesn't spend any time there. I mean, she is wearing her STMR or whatever. But in the shift form, she's geared like that. So the Dragoon helmet's good for boosting her jump damage. If you have Kimari's STMR, the new Kimari with the jump modifier boost, it's helpful, but she does not need it. Her own intrinsic, and then just jump damage and insect killer. Her intrinsic gives her a ton of insect killer anyway. 250%, so it makes gearing for this very, very easy for Sky. And she's wearing the Roberta Vision card. If you don't have that one, you could use Rykard and Wyvern's Vision card, or her own Vision card, or anything that boosts jump damage. Otherwise, yeah, she's just kind of geared like that. Pretty easy. Chain cap up, you know, whatever. And she carried the damage completely by herself. So just get yourself a strong Sky friend and jump on the bug. But yeah, we're excited for all the stuff coming out on Thursday. I'm really looking forward to Clash of Wills. I'm really looking forward to this. These are really fun events, and so I'm looking forward to doing this pole battle with Hazino. So thank you so much for agreeing to come out and being part of my community. And hope you guys come out and cheer me on or cheer on Hazino, and we'll have fun trying to get the new Tsukiko unit. Until then, we'll see you on Thursday. Be good to each other. Take care, and go and get you some Spirit and Demon Killer. Take care, guys.